And secretly a bunch of spiders in a human costume. Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to DND404. I am your DM, Tony. And join with me today are the other three things I pretended I didn't buy when I was a teenager. Fellas, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves, starting with the pyramid scheme, Jared.
Armos checking in over here. I would have to say my item would be Pogs.
Pogs?
That's great.
Pogs aren't bad.
Dude, if you think about it, they're pretty bad.
I spent my money on round printed items.
Yeah, round circles of paper that you throw a weighted device at that dents them and breaks them up. Yeah, it was just a silly
Bro,
thing.
it's marbles for
fun
boys,
answer.
bro. It's marbles for badass boys.
Marbles were cool. Pogs were edgy.
Pog champ.
Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh, I love those. Anyways, my name is Dan. I play Minnis PebbleWalker, your tiny little swarm keeper ranger. And I am the Coca-Cola vending machine cover of this podcast. That's right. I bought a and I tied it to my 1996 Volkswagen Golf on the hood and drove it 30 minutes home.
Wait, explain what you bought. A what?
Coca-Cola.
I was out tag sailing, as I do, like everybody does on their Saturday mornings at 9 in the morning. And I saw a vending machine cover that did not have the plastic taken off, completely new. Not vending machine not included. I had to have it.
Did you sell it?
Wait.
It's still in my parents' garage. Okay.
Oh my god!
Just the cover.
No bites? Wow. What would have thought, Dan?
Anyways, we have a special guest again with us today. Say hello, Britty.
Hello, my name is Britty Lea, and I'm playing Krideth, and I am the pair of Heelys.
Oh.
Which,
love
to be
Heelys.
fair, I don't regret buying. I do regret getting rid of them.
But we all looked stupid wearing them.
I wish I still had my
I never
Heelys.
looked stupid in my life. Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's right. What was I thinking?
My back would be so grateful if I owned a pair of Heelys.
Okay, let me just say, I think you're better off just with roller skates. Roller blades.
But then you can't use stairs.
You can if you're not a coward.
Okay, fair. Mean, but fair.
What about you, Tony?
I'm not proud of this one, okay? When I was 13 years old, the internet was still very new, and I was very overweight and insecure that I bought with some friends How to Pick Up Girls DVD set offline. Where they brought, and it was the ones that were scams where like they paid the women to pretend to be interested in the guys
Tony.
when they thought like their techniques worked. Yeah, it was, yeah.
And now Tony's a Sigma male.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
Yeah, it's time. Yeah. Surprised you made it this far, Britty.
Krideth, please. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Anyway, you know the deal. Before we roll for the recap, we're going to go ahead and do the rundown. And today's rundown is brought to you by me. I want to go ahead and just drive home the Spotify Q&A. And I'm going to drop a really important one at the bottom of this episode because you may have heard the age-old question, is a Pop-Tart a ravioli, right? I mean, in theory, it is, right? If you think about it. I got another one. I got another great mind tickler for you. If a Pop-Tart is a ravioli, would you consider a corn dog to be a Wellington? Let me know down below. Would you consider a corn dog to be a beef Wellington?
I'm looking up beef Wellington as we say it.
You don't know what a beef Wellington is? It's meat like encrusted in bread like a corn dog.
Yeah.
I love corn dogs, so...
That was a great rundown, Tony. Had Sigma energy.
Real top G moves.
Yeah, real
I'm
top
coming to
G.
your house. I'm gonna come to your house.
Dan, you make fun of me. Dan, you make fun of me. But let me ask you one more question. What color is your Bugatti? Yeah, I didn't think so.
I wish I had a Bugatti like you. I'm not a real man.
I'm not saying I have one. I'm just asking you.
All right,
if you have
we've brought this joke way too far.
I didn't get to that part of the DVD yet. Okay, Dan?
I'm very uncomfortable with the energy in the room right now.
So we're going to go ahead and roll for the recap where I roll a giant half-eaten D4 that was eaten by my bunny, where I am 1,
We just said it.
Krideth is 2, Britty is 2, 3 is Dan, and 4 is Jared. All right, I got a giant D4, and we're going to roll it.
Oh, yes!
Oh, Britty!
It's a 2.
Britty with a 2. Britty, you got to go ahead and give us the recap.
The recap. Well, unfortunately for you, I am not going to rap. Okay, so recap. Armos and Minnis, in an effort to help Drell, are sent on a side quest to go and get a glacial shard. Now, who better to help with this side quest than me, your friendly neighborhood goth werebat, Krideth? I'm here to help, of course, obviously. So we go find some information. We end up finding documents on the Hydro Purification Center, and then we find a bunch of blueprints, and we get some clippers, and we go to the sewers, which are gross. But we don't need the clippers to get into the sewers, which is not concerning at all. And we go to the sewer. We only fall in the water like a couple times, and it's fine and not gross at all. And then we end up in a cavern that is like super disgusting with a bunch of corpses. Now, I say this is pretty gross. As Krideth, love it, into it, super goth. And then a big gray frog with the name tag Reigns shows up ready for battle. And that's where we find ourselves.
You say hit it, Bar.
Oh, I say hit it, Bard. Could the Bard just gently play a tune, please?
Sully, hit it!
No.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the world of Humbrea, featuring 3 first-time adventurers and 1 very patient DM. This is DND404. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to session 71. You find yourselves in a dugout cavern deep within the Aramore sewer system. Upon entering this rocky cavern, you find this murky green water is up to your knees mixed with blood and sewage. All around you are these necrotic mushroom vines with hollow, dried out bodies tangled up within them. Sack-like eggs the size of your fists are resting in all of the corpses, and they jiggle with the water flow around your feet. Before you is a massive black and gray toad. Hulking in the cavern at 9 feet tall, it holds its top-heavy body up with its long, thin arms like a gorilla. White pupils stare at you, and it has a devilish smile. The glacial shard around its wide rubber neck is the glacial shard you seek, attached to a silver chain. And of course, he is wearing a ripped-up vest with the name tag, Reigns. And as it growls at you, and its saliva meets the murky water at your feet, I'm gonna need everybody to roll me initiative.
Oh boy. That's a 7 for Minnis.
14.
17.
Nice. We are now in initiative as this black, gray, hulking toad drooling with a glacial shard around its neck. We are going to start at initiative 20. Krideth, go ahead and roll me a D4 and let me know what you get.
Oh no. I smell a layer action. It's like initiative 20.
That's a 2.
As the blackish grayish frog begins to step towards Minnis and Armos, as you are met with this massive creature, probably in the tightest part of the cavern that there is in this area, you see that the glacial shard begins to glow around its neck and the cavern walls begin to freeze, and you look up and you see these stalactites begin to freeze over. I need everyone to make me a dexterity saving throw.
I'm so good at those.
It was on a 19, but it tilted over and it's a 1.
Oh no!
14 for Minnis. Oh.
12.
All 3 of you fail as ice stalactites fall from the ceiling. Each of you are going to take 13 points of piercing damage as they fall and shatter onto you. We're going to move to initiative 17. Krideth, as you are watching from the back line in between these mossy, necrotic mushroom vines with dried out bodies all around you, as these ice shards, one of them just conks you on the head. You see this blackish death frog just over yonder. What are you doing?
First of all, get mad at the ice that fell on her head, right? Just takes personal offense to that. Personally, not very pleased with the situation. She is going to take that energy and take a stealth sneaking. Try to get to the big old frog. Okay, so 18 to move like the night.
Yeah, so you have two directions where you go. So to give you a better imagery of the landscape that you're in a massive cavern room, which is like imagine like a giant weirdly shaped circle, and there is a large column in the center of it that have like a lot of these vines and egg sacs on them and all these mushrooms. And that is like separating the room into two halves.
Yeah, I see what you're trying to do here. So yeah, so she's going to go around the column on the other side that everybody's not on, so that she can kind of like come around and be sneaky about it.
With that stealth check, you are fairly confident that it doesn't see you, and that's focused on Armos and Minnis in front of it.
Yes.
We're gonna go to initiative 14, Armos.
That's me.
As Krideth takes the rear, and you are side by side with Minnis.
Are we like in swinging range of this thing?
Yes, you are within 10 feet.
So if I like moved, it is not going to go well for me, huh?
If you try to go backwards without taking a disengage, you will take an attack of opportunity here.
I will make him disengage. I'm a Eldritch Blast him.
You're gonna make him disengage, okay?
So here we go. I got another one. What is going on?
It's like Drell all over again.
18 or 26, sorry, with my bonus.
Okay.
8 to 26.
And a 16.
The first two whiff wildly as the third one with a 26 is going to hit.
Get nervous.
I rolled another one. Okay, anyways, 5 damage.
Rough.
Goodness.
What is it about this cavern?
As you hit him with the third Eldritch Blast, he's going to get pushed back 10 feet, which is going to be right near the wall. And he's going to be not quite pressed up against the cavern wall, but he is next to all these vines and a lot of these larger egg sacs towards the back wall of the cavern. You are really deep within the cavern right now. This is like where the most mature eggs are. What else are you doing on your turn?
I'm gonna just take a few steps back, get my distance from the guy. Let's say, I'm gonna move to the furthest back I can to keep him in eyesight. But there's enough space that he won't be bothered with me.
Awesome. We're gonna go ahead and move to initiative 10, which is this blackish grayish fog. As you look at him, actually, Minnis and Krideth, make me a perception check.
Oh my god, what is happening today? 7.
21 for Minnis.
Minnis, you notice that his Eldritch Blast wound, you see like this purplish smoke emit off the skin, and you see like the black mark that it left behind. Its skin begins to callus over that mark.
Like it's healing?
That's what you can get from it, yeah.
Armos, we gotta take care of this thing quick.
Right now, it's focused on you, Minnis, as you're the closest thing to it that it sees, and is going to move 30 feet forward, and it is going
15 feet.
It's gonna go right up into your face, and he is going to make a series of attacks against you. You see with its massive hands, it moves like a gorilla as it begins to swing wildly at you. Missing with its massive bite, coming down with its 2 claws with a 19 and a 21 to hit. You're gonna take 20 slashing damage and 14 necrotic damage from those attacks. As the murky rubber skin slashes across you, it leaves these black goop across your shoulder and face. Oh, you don't half the slashing damage, by the way.
I don't have it.
You don't half it.
What?
We're gonna move to initiative 7 minutes as you just got these barrage of attacks on you. What are you doing?
Oh, that hurts more than normal. Oh, goodness. If it isn't Napoli's PC Reigns, I will have the better of you. Oh, God. See ya. I use a bonus action to use Nature's Veil and go invisible.
Oh, okay. So they just go invisible. Do you have to make a check to see if they know where you are? Stealth check?
I mean, unless it has like some sort of hearing properties, right? I know some creatures have like.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Minnis, please continue.
But I am floating, so I'm not sure what kind of noise that's making. But and then I would like to float 10 feet away.
Okay.
And I can see, as I back up, I can see just past Reigns, and I can see now that Krideth is kind of sneaking up. I'm like, oh, okay, good. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. Ow, ow. Oh, Sid. And Sid pops up on my shoulder. Sid, do the thing. And I'm gonna cast and I'm going to cast a second level bless. Sid, do the thing. Bless. And yeah, and now for the next minute, Krideth, Armos, you get a D4 to use on any attack roll or saving throw. And, one extra D4.
One extra D4. Okay.
I hate when he does this almost without asking. Some of us don't like the light.
We're going to move to initiative 20, which is the lair action. Armos, roll me a D4 if you will.
Please be a 1. It's a 4.
The black deathly frog puts its murky webbed hands around the glacial shard and summons the frost magic from within it as a cold fog emits from it and freezes your items around you. Anything that is liquid is now considered frozen and not usable this turn.
Oh, no health potions.
Any consumables are frozen.
Interesting.
Yeah, for this turn. We're going to move to initiative 17. Krideth.
Krideth is still trying to do little sneaking. And definitely like tries to not even make eye contact with anybody else. Like, you don't see me. You can't see me. I'm invisible. But I'm not really invisible, obviously, because someone is really invisible right now. And she's going to look down at her feet because she's still right now. She's not in a bat form. She's in her normal half elf form.
Mm-hmm.
And look down at her feet and look at her shoes and be like, and is gonna be looking at her shoes that have like cool spider webs on them. Again, very goth, and using the slippers of spider climbing. Going to try to climb up this column that she's next to jump onto Reigns.
So you want to so you're trying to do like a sneak attack on
A
him.
little, yeah.
First, go ahead and give me a stealth check to see if he notices you.
29, baby.
Ooh, you are okay. So you are definitely able to use your shoes of spider climbing, your slippers of spider climbing, and by the way, these slippers look like fuzzy little bedtime slippers that are shaped into like little purple spiders. Very goth.
Yes, very goth.
As your plushy slippers crunch along the column, you are able to sneak attack him from behind as you jump on him.
There's a couple things that I'm gonna say is happening here. Trying to hit, but also what she's trying to do is slice the lanyard that's holding the shard.
So it is a silver chain, depending on. So how I rule those things, when it's like a called shot, it depends on how well you hit it. So you do have to hit like a certain DC.
Okay.
Yeah. So just go ahead and roll a hit as that's your attention. Yeah.
Ooh, and you got an extra D4 from me. Okay.
Good God.
That 20, that's a 31.
Don't forget the D4, you might need it.
Yeah, I might need that.
Nat 20 on the first attack. That is brilliant.
According to my notes, a 31 does hit. That was a nat 20? Nice.
That was a nat 20. Plus my 11. Okay. Cool. So, like, she's pulled out this cool-ass dagger to just do this sneak, jump up the wall, come flying down onto its back to slice the chain in one motion. And if that's a sneak attack, I have sneak attack damage.
So that is a sneak attack, yeah. So go ahead and add up all your damage. Let me know how much you're doing.
50 55.
55 points of damage as you,
Rogues, man.
from the Matrix, just running up the column in slow motion, and you jump onto its back in a swift motion like a pirate, using a dagger to cut down a sail right across its back, and the rabbit is like, the frog is like, and gurgling as this black necrotic goo is spitting out of its mouth, as its blood is also very murky and coagulated as it spills onto you. And it turns around and is looking right at you.
That's great. She's got the chain in her hand.
As far as the chain goes, no, the chain does not break, but it looks damaged.
Okay, what, like,
It's
are we
something.
talking like...
This, so when I say silver chain, it's like, I'm talking like Home Depot silver chain. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
Not like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going out to the club, I got my chain on. No, I'm talking like chain link.
Chain link,
Yeah,
chain,
chain links, yeah.
I got you. No worries, but it's looking rough.
Yeah, the chain is looking rough. He
Got it.
looks pissed. You see his eyes blink from the side as he's now laser focused on you.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and move to initiative 14. Armos, as you just watched Krideth gash this thing's back up. What are you doing?
How tall is this monstrosity?
9 feet.
So I'm going to cast Hex on him as a bonus action and make him and make him disadvantage on wisdom saving throws.
Okay.
And then with my actual action, I'm going to polymorph.
Yeah, almost. Hex him, almost. And while you're at it, why don't you give him a little tasty blast?
I got other plans for this guy.
Oh, yeah? Oh, don't mind me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, you do you. It's fine.
And then I use polymorph. So he has to make a DC 16 wisdom saving throw with disadvantage.
Your hex swirls around him as a purplish glow as the hex goes off. And then you begin to cast polymorph, and that hex around him begins to close in and then poofs as he passes.
With a disadvantage? Oh my goodness.
You hear a giant croak, and Krideth, you see this massive jowl just extend before you as the spell reflects off him.
Well,
It's bad for baby.
What else are you doing, almost?
I am going to sit tight and rethink my life.
We're gonna move to initiative 10, which is this grayish, blackish frog. Minnis and Armos, you see the massive gash begin to close up slowly as its back is facing the both of you, and the giant wound left behind that Krideth made is beginning to heal very slowly. Krideth, it is looking at you. It is croaking and ribbiting, and you hear within your mind a croaky voice.
Squeeze me?
Foolish bats. Ribbit. And he begins to swipe. He begins to swipe and bite at you. With this massive jaw, it snaps but barely misses with a 15. As his two claws come down with a 25 and a 11. So only one of those claws are gonna hit. You're gonna take 8 slashing damage and 7 necrotic damage.
Okay. She's gonna take the hit and be like, I like your monologue.
My frog log.
Needs work. And like just gonna say that like out loud and also like eyeball everybody like, come on.
He's also going to move 30 feet to the left. If you would like to take an attack of opportunity here, as he is trying to move around the column away from Minnis and Armos to get out of their view.
Of course.
She's still aiming for the chain. So like that area, right? Wherever that area of the first time, she's gonna try to do that again. Well, how does a 26 sound?
Well, 26 will hit, but this is an attack of opportunity. It's facing you, so you're not going to do any cool chain stuff here.
That's fine, but Take 9 damage.
Yeah, it's gonna take 9 damage as you slash it across with your dagger. Okay, all right, not bad. Hey, we take those. We take those. As it begins to glide across the murky water, you manage to just get it ever so slightly with 9 points of damage. And then it croaks at you again and speaks within your mind, and you hear the croak out loud, and then it echoes in your head, and then you hear it out loud again, and it begins to reverberate. Ribbit, 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 and then you hear him say ribbit. We're gonna move to initiative 7 Minnis out of your line of sight around the column. You can kind of see like its arm and like its legs, but you can't see most of its body. What are you doing?
So on my turn, I immediately come out of my invisibility, and I like to think almost like Bokeh. You see all my Sids also come out of invisibility. You see them hanging on the
dropping
walls.
in the water.
Yeah. And I'm gonna move 10 feet forward. Krideth, I like the idea. After the chain, and I'm gonna sling 2 bullets. 4 bullets really. I'm gonna put 4 of those elemental bullets into attacks at Reigns. As Reigns runs away from me, that jerk. Coward! And I'll shoot once. That is a 22 and a 18.
One of them are going to hit as the 22 hits.
18 misses. Holy.
As it moves out of the way and you catch it on the side of its gullet with the other shot.
Oh man, Reigns, you're hard to hit. So I get 2 of those elemental bullets. So that is 19 points of fire damage as I'm like, flames, haha! And 2 of those bullets.
You see that the flames immediately get extinguished onto its skin. How much piercing damage is it going to take from your sling?
9.
9. Okay. Perfect.
Then I'm going to bonus action healing word at... I'm just going to do a first level for now. Just give my girl some healing here. I'm going to bonus action healing word to Krideth. That'll be 7 points of health back to you.
Damage. You
Damage.
You're like, hey.
Do the thing. Wait, wrong thing.
You seem like he has a knife out and he's like,
other thing.
Oh, this is a nice way to heal. Threaten. I like.
It's called bloodletting. It's the newest fact. It's the newest thing in medical advancement. So we're gonna move to initiative 20, which is the lair action. I'm going to need Minnis to roll me a d4.
Roll another d4.
It's a 4 again.
Things are frozen.
The glacial shard begins to emit another fog as all consumables are now frozen. We're gonna move to initiative 17. Krideth, you're now about 10 feet away from this hulking beast. What are you doing?
She's gonna try to do the same thing, run up the wall and come flying down. It worked once.
Yes,
try it again.
this is not a sneak attack though. So just so
This
you
is
know,
not.
This is not.
No,
So
this
you
is-
may go roll a hit as you use your cool spider slippers.
Cool. So she just runs up the wall. It's like it's not as cool. She's losing a little bit of like her steam. But
Very wet.
She's gonna. Yeah, it's like she's trying. Okay, 20 to hit.
A 20 will hit.
Okay.
What? How much damage you doing to it?
11. Again, I'm trying to aim for the spot in the chain that's weak.
Oh, I know. And you see this chain is barely hanging on as you swipe down with your dagger again. This chain looks very messed up. You can, as you're attacking it, you realize it's a little bit tougher than how it seems because the chain itself looks like it's frozen over.
And she goes, "This is why I need."
So we're gonna move to initiative 14, Armos. As you're watching Krideth unleashing Dagger Fury, what are you doing?
Armos, not to be outsmarted, squints that his last plan of attack didn't work. Noticing that he is potentially shaking off these hits that we're doing, moves just enough in range towards Minnis to see him and casts Chilling Touch. And I got a nat 20.
Ooh, that will do it.
Finally, those ones. So 28 to hit, and I get to double it, right? So an 18 plus a 19. For those at home who don't know, when it's necrotic damage, but The target cannot regain hit points until the start of your next turn. Until then, the hand clings to the target.
You see that as this spectral hand shoots from yours, you see Reginald goes, "Whoa, that's pretty metal," and it begins to try to strangle this giant frog. And then you see little other hands sprout out from its chilling grasp, and it begins to hold its wounds open.
Yeah.
Oh.
With that attack, you do see that a little bit of black muck is coming from its mouth.
Nice. If it's not undead, right? I mean, all right, I'll just put it this way. If it is undead, it has disadvantages on attack rolls until my turn.
Okay.
Krideth throws you up like a rock sign.
Yeah.
She's into it.
I don't know what spells she's trying to cast, but it looks powerful.
We're going to move to initiative 10, which is this deathly frog, and it begins to croak in pain as the chilling touch hands are holding open its wounds, and it's reacting to it. It's going to look at the three of you. You see its white pupils begin to glow blue and then purple as they blink sideways, and its massive jowl extends and also glows purple.
I don't like that.
Armos is casting a spell. Are you doing anything?
Guys.
Yeah. Got it. And I go to try to counterspell it.
Awesome. What level are you counterspelling at?
My counterspell is at 5th level. DC equals to 10 plus the level. It needs to be to 15. Well, it doesn't matter because I got a 6.
With the 6, the counter spell fizzles as this with this massive yellow greenish murky cloud and focused on Minnis. Armos and Minnis, I'm gonna need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm good at those. That's 3. That is a 15 plus my D4 is a 19.
14.
Did you add a D4, Armos?
I did not, but I will.
I blessed you, making sure you use those abilities.
Plus 2. 16.
You're gonna take 27 poison damage half.
Oh.
Yes. So you take 14 points of poison damage, and this cloud is going to linger. You also see it moving along with you. After it casts its spell, it is going to make a move, and it's going to move 30 feet around the column. As you hear it hop away from the three of you, it begins to echo around the column. We're going to move to initiative 7, Minnis.
Yeah, I'm going to go looking for this thing on the other side. So I'm like, Armos, we got to get out of this fog. And I'm going to dash action to, and I do see it. I'm going to dash action to go 10 feet north in the cavern. And I am going to bonus action go invisible one more time. Oh, I see it.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move to initiative 20, which is the lair. And I am going to roll a d4 this time as it's my turn and fair is fair. If you all get a roll, I get a roll. Ooh, I got a 1. As the glacial shard begins to glow, Minnis, you do see it focusing on the glacial shard, and then the water flash freezes around you. I need everyone to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Except for Minnis.
I got a 2.
27.
Maybe the
You know
D4
what?
will help.
For the sake of it, it's 5 now.
No, yo.
For the next round, you are frozen in place in the ice water as it freezes around your legs.
No.
You'll have to use an action to break free from the ice to move again.
That's just Armos.
Armos and Krideth.
I got 27.
Oh, I thought you said 7. That's just Armos, my bad.
I was like, how? In what
My
world?
bad. So this is only Armos because Minnis is floating and Krideth is Krideth. So we're gonna move to initiative 17, which is Krideth.
Yeah, excellent. So I'm gonna take my action to move, and then I'm gonna take my bonus action to dash, and get back close to Rain. First of all, I just want to say thanks for all the wonderful items in my inventory, Tony. This has been really fun. I'm having a good time here looking through these. So, Krideth is going to, as she's running, pull out from her, like, tucked in her waistband is a bunch of, like, really cool vials, like goth vials, basically, and uncork one of them and pour a bunch of fine sand into her hand and then blow it at this creature, and I'm using dust of sneezing and choking.
I remember this.
Yeah. And it must succeed on a DC 15 con save.
We can do those. Ooh, with a 23 to save.
Are you kidding me? Oh, man. She tried. She was trying everything she had.
You see as you give like this devil's kiss with the sand, and it just, he just sits there and it just goes across his face. And then you notice that like what amphibians do, because they can go underwater, his nostrils just like close with the weird like flesh gap thing that they have, because they're like, you know, demons on Earth. Yeah, so it just does that as it just holds its breath for a moment as the dust just vanishes past them. And then you hear the voice croak in your mind again. Silly little bat, you were in my domain. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. What else are you doing?
I think that's everything I've got.
Yeah, so we're gonna move to Initiative 14, Armos. Sloshing back over to you, stuck in this now frozen, dirty sewage water. What are you doing? As Reginald's like,
it's like a poopsicle. Oh, it's gross. Oh.
I'm going to, yes. I'm gonna Misty Step over towards where Minnis is.
Oh,
that's a cheeky. It's cheeky.
You are the smart one.
And then I shake my legs now that they're free, and then getting real mad that nothing seems to be working on this guy. I'm gonna have to chilling touch him again so he doesn't heal anymore, but I really want to just blow him up.
Yeah, you gotta keep up on it.
No, all right. An 18?
Plus a D4.
Plus a D4.
Just don't roll a 1.
I rolled a 1. But it was a 20 to hit his, or 19 to hit his chain, not him, right?
The chilling touch reaches out and pops into all these little hands again and begins to hold open its wounds again. And they begin to stretch. As you hear the stretching of the rubber skin and the black murky blood
We're on to you.
leaks out of its body.
Your dog.
Ketchup did not like that.
We're gonna move to Initiative 10 as it tries to heal, but the chilling touch keeps the wounds open. Its eyes are going.
Jared.
Are going to glow this blackish, purplish yellow again as this massive frog jowl it protrudes. Do you have a reaction, Jared? As it's casting another spell.
No, I don't think. No.
It begins to croak and its jowl protrudes and then ribbit, invisible, disappears as it lets out a giant croak.
That was gonna happen.
Still in combat, Armos and Minnis, give me Arcana checks.
Sure. Nat pumpkin, baby.
14.
In case you forgot, I have pumpkin dice.
You know that you don't sense it, but watching where it is, you do see water tracks follow, like moving along as if something massive is stepping in the water, but you do not sense it.
Right.
You hear sloshing of water.
Going north, everybody.
As it makes its way towards the entrance and then turns down and it's out of view. Oh, well, the watermarks are out of view. And we're going to move to Initiative 7, which is
me. Do I have anything that'll help with invisible stuff? I'm just going to hope I get lucky. I'm going to move 10 feet forward, and I'm going to assume it can only move about 30 feet, and I am going to throw my spider balls in the direction I saw it go.
gross. Yeah, go ahead. Gross, Minnis, gross.
So what do I have to do now? So I can't see it, but I saw the water tracks.
You saw the water tracks leaving, but you're gonna go to roll. So if you think it's there, you're gonna try to roll to hit. And then if it explodes, if it like touches a wall, I mean, its action still happens, You're trying to potentially hit something that's invisible.
Yeah, you never told me what the spider balls do exactly. I just know they create webs, and there might be other.
Oh yeah, it casts a web spell in a really gross way. So it's a free web spell.
Yeah, so I'm gonna cast it right here. I'm gonna cast it north where I think it left the entrance of this cave.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, we never used this, Sid. Hand me the balls.
Yeah, it's like grossed out as he hands you like a giant webbed ball, and there's like little spiders crawling in and out of it for effect.
Yeah, Minnis is also like, oh, I didn't know it was that squishy. All right, get out of here.
That's the DM.
The best part is Reginald and Armos are standing there, and all of a sudden I return from invisibility. I'm like, ha, Sid, spider ball, bang. And I launch the web spell. I don't think I have specifically the web spell, so I'll have to look it up. But what's the range on web spell?
The range on the grenade is 60.
60 feet. My
60 feet,
goodness.
yes. And the web spell is a 20-foot cube.
Oh, 20-foot cube, yeah. So
And it lasts for 1 hour.
wow. Okay. So that's my action.
You throw this grenade, and all these spiders crawl around it. And as you throw it, did you roll to hit?
Oh, I have to roll to hit?
Yeah, because you're throwing a projectile at it.
18 plus 3 is 21.
You see as you chuck it down the hall, it banks off the back wall of the sewer, and then pops, and that whole area becomes filled with webs. You conjure mass, thick, sticky web at the point. So the entire corridor is now covered in webs, and you're anchored to the walls. It's like rough terrain, and if you wanted to walk through it now, you would probably get caught.
Yeah. So now it's difficult terrain that lightly obscures an area if the webs aren't anchored between two solid masses, which it is here because it's between a bunch of walls. Mm-hmm. It automatically fails, but it did not do that. Each creature that starts its turn in the webs or that enters them during its turn must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is restrained. Mm-hmm. As long as it remains in the web.
Yes. We're going to move to initiative 20. You look at the webs, and it looks like the spell went off. You don't see the webs moving other than whatever webs is caught within the slow flowing water and rubble that is in the sewer. You don't see any sign of resistance from the web. You also don't see any magical ice effects go off. And we're going to go to initiative 17. Krideth.
Okay, so what can I see from my vantage point as far as like the web situation?
So you can see out into the entrance of the cavern where you guys came in, and it is completely covered with webs.
Right. Okay, cool. So does it register that like they're now trapped in? Does that register to this poor Batgirl?
We're not trapped in, there's just webs.
You don't see any sign. You know that you're trapped in here. You would have to cut through it.
Uh-huh.
You essentially like pigeonholed yourself here, but you don't see any signs of struggle within the web. It just looks like perfect webs in that cube.
So seeing that like now there's a lot of things kind of that happened all at once, and the goal that they were there for is kind of gone. She's gonna go up to Minnis, who just cast a spell, and just be like, "What the fuck is that?"
Oh, that is my web ball. I've never used it before. I actually didn't know that was gonna happen.
And we are now trapped in.
Yeah, you see, I thought it was just going to go around whatever I hit, but apparently it cast web, which I actually have that spell. So maybe I should just cast that spell.
This is useless.
What do you mean? And I run through it, and I'm fine because I can run through magically created things to impede movement. Oh no, it's not a plant, so I can't run through it. I run through it and get stuck. It's fine. Help!
Sometimes I question the integrity of our party, Armos. Like one moment we're doing really well, and the next moment we're stuck.
Yeah.
She goes up to and like not touching the web as close as she can get to without touching anything. Says, "You have one brain cell."
What's a brain cell? Is that like the magic in my brain?
Throws her hands up in the air. I don't. I'm gonna die in here with no brain cells.
Oh, wait, I'm not. I passed my dexterity saving throw, so I'm actually not restrained.
We're in this little, we are still in initiative. We will say this goes off fine, but is there anything notable that you'd like to do on your turn, Krideth?
To do nothing like action-y. I think that she would start like investigating and looking around for potentially a secret exit or something to like maybe bring the creature back, or if there's like a magical so she's just like done and looking around.
Yeah, make me an investigation check on your turn.
25.
You're looking around as this thing escaped and the entrance is now covered in webs, and you're looking at your environment. The water is green, looks very toxic. The vines around you coming out and protruding through the cavern walls, they're all holding these eggs, and the eggs are varying in sizes. You can see inside the eggs. You see that what's inside of them are all these little tadpoles. The way the eggs are situated, they're in the empty cavities that were ripped out to rest in. So there are these massive necrotic mushroomy vines with a person tangled up within them, with eggs inside the drained person, as if the eggs are using the body as a host. All of the roots, with a 25, all the roots that you see on the outer walls look like all endings of a root, but not the main root. With that, we'll move to initiative 14, which is Armos.
Yeah, nothing that I can think of. I just go up to where Minnis is and just shake my head and try to start pulling his dumb horns out of the webbing.
Yeah, you see that I'm trying to get Sid to help me, like, guys, push this way, push, no, like this. Ah! And then he pushes my foot and I like fall backwards out of the web. Ah! Thanks, guys, as I lay in the disgusting water.
Can I use firebolt to burn the webs, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely, you can do that.
I don't like to be trapped in here, and the thing ran away.
Well, I think it was guarding these tadpole eggs, right? So it's gonna want to come back. And it has to come through my webs if it wants to come back, so we'll know if it's coming back.
Oh, these eggs right here?
Yeah, those in the back, and the humans, and all the creatures.
So we should just do this, and I firebolt one of the eggs instead.
Yeah!
Nice.
So you're gonna attack one of the eggs and you're gonna try to burn it?
Yeah.
Do it. Don't listen to the scary DM voice. Do it.
Right?
You shoot a fireball at one of these eggs, and they're all in clusters. And you shoot the fireball, and then you see that as the flame ignites the dried roots and the dried out body, you see that the tadpoles inside of them begin to move around very sporadically. And as the flame touches the egg sac, it begins to melt away, and these very grayish, some red, some are blue, some are gray, pure gray, and all these tadpoles flop out into the water and then float up dead.
How big is a tadpole? Like,
very small. Some of them are larger than each other, but like you all can fit within your hand.
that's what I'm curious of. I think that's it.
We're gonna move to initiative 10 as the chilling, eerie silence of the sewer drips. Oh. You hear the eggs squirm all around you as you are waiting. Then it's gonna go to initiative 7, Minnis.
I want to track the creature if I can, see if I can find any evidence of where it went.
You using a specific spell, or are you just trying to like track it using your skill set?
Yeah, I'm just trying to track using surroundings, see if it like broke something on the left going out, or if it there are any new trails on the right.
Yeah, so this will just be an investigation check. So you're gonna use a search action here on your turn. Absolutely.
Search, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were trying to do like some cool ranger spell, but I gotcha.
Nah, just a good old search action. Investigation. I pull out my magnifying glass. I get a 6. Because I fell in the water, it's like all covered in slime and moldy water. So I can't see properly through it. Oh god, I'm gonna have to clean this later.
With a 6, you don't see anything.
Yeah.
You're just trying to like look through the webs, and you just see the clean water meeting the dirty water as it's flowing past you.
Cool. And then with the bonus action, I'll give a healing word over to my newfound pal, Krideth. You get 8 health back.
We're going to move to initiative 20 as nothing happens. And then move to initiative 17, which is Krideth. What are you doing?
Well, she's still glaring at Minnis. Not very happy with being stuck inside. Okay, so I think that she's just gonna angrily try to stab tadpoles.
Okay. Yeah, so you're still near the entranceway and you're Minnis and Armos. Okay, perfect. We're going to move to initiative 14, Armos.
Yeah.
As Krideth begins to stab at these tadpoles angrily. What are you doing?
I go up to Krideth and I'm saying, hey, big fan of your thing and all your stuff. And I pull out my book and I was like, hey, can I have your signature? Can you sign right here? And she sees Drell's name, she sees Minnis's name in their own handwritings, and then sees my name.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and put your name right there, Krideth?
Yeah, I pull out this really creepy book. It's has an eye on it.
I don't see where it went, Sid. I don't know where.
She almost pulls out this tome, and it's like black with gold binding. Looks very used. The pages look very shifted through, and on the front of it is you would know what it is. It is a blood shard, but it looks like a perfect version of one. You have never seen a perfect version of a blood shard before, but you can tell that it is one.
And it's super goth.
It's very goth.
It's very God.
Yeah.
It's very God.
Right.
She's going to stab your book.
No, wait, almost. Don't do that. Don't do that.
So are you rejecting it or are you accepting it?
Oh, I mean, like,
Is that her signature? Is a stab?
yeah,
Because I'll accept it.
yeah. She's just not really paying attention. So she's like angrily stabbing like you do when you're just, and then like you come up to her and she like turns and lifts her arm and stabs it into the book.
You see as the page meets the dagger that the page is torn a little bit, and Armos shifts it away.
I'm gonna take that as a no,
I
bud.
don't know. I thought that was is this a signature? And I kind of hold it up and tilt it left and right.
That won't hold up in demon
What do you
court.
think?
I don't know. I don't think that'll hold up in demon court. Hey, listen, I'm all into blood and suffering, but we are very strict on the rules down there. Because if you don't have order, what's the point?
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
exactly.
We are going to move to initiative 10. As you hear, as the three of you are converging and trying to think of a plan, you hear a croak echo all around you. As Minnis, as you are standing by the web, you see a massive spark of flame as you see this black toad come into view, and his mouth begins to glow fiery red. Krideth, as you stab, you see another one of these blackish toads standing behind you, also with this fiery red mouth as it begins to shoot, and you see coming from both directions a massive fireball coming from both sides, meeting in the middle. I'm gonna need everyone to make me a dexterity saving throw.
How does a 24 sound?
A 24 will save.
24 sounds way better than a 10.
I got a 27. So there's two of them.
You see two of them.
Reigns is outside, or are they both different?
You see one outside, just outside of the web, casting fireball, and you see the one behind you also casting fireball, and both of these red fireballs meet you in the middle. You are going to take 42 points of fire damage. If you pass a DC 15, you take half that.
All right, I'm going to definitely use a reaction then to absorb that. So I'm going to use absorb elements. I will use that. I'll just use that at first level, get rid of my last first level slot. I'm resistant to that. And I take half of the half.
Nice.
And I store it in my rapier.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool, even though it won't do damage to him, but it's in there.
All right, we're going to move to initiative 7, which is Minnis, as you just got hit with these two massive fireballs, and there is one ahead of you and there is one behind you. What are you doing as you are looking at two rains?
Oh, they both look like rain?
Yes.
Which one's... Do either of them have the necklace?
You see 2 glacial shards and you see 2 vests.
Oh God.
Got it.
Okay. Noted.
Ribbits, 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 ribbits.
And they are just croaking in tune with each other.
I don't like you anymore, Reigns.
Ribbit, 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 ribbit.
Yeah, Minnis is definitely gonna be like, I don't like this, Sid. Poof, invisible. And I'm gonna chuck 2 shots at the one outside the web.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna chuck him at the one outside the web.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a hit.
Is that with advantage or no?
Yes, it would be with advantage.
Perfect. So the first one is a 22, and the second one is a nat 20.
You shoot these 4 shots, and as the 4 shots go through, it disappears.
Oh no! My nat 20! Wasted!
As you quickly see that's an illusion. It actually doesn't disappear, it just becomes super translucent.
I'm invisible. I was like, yeah, don't have anything else.
We're gonna move to initiative 20, which is the lair, and I'm gonna need Krideth to roll me a D4.
Is there anything we haven't gotten yet? I think we got them all, right?
No, we haven't.
There's a 3.
Oh, look, that's the one you missed.
Hey!
As the glacial shard begins to glow on the one behind you, its rubber hands manifest the glacial energy within the shard, and then you see his body gloss over in what looks like this protective ice around his body.
Oh, goodness.
We're gonna go ahead and move to initiative 17, Krideth.
Okay, so the one that's directly behind and not in the walkway is... Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think just do the same thing as before. I mean, it seems to be working. Run up the wall, come to a flying leap on down.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a hit as you are running up the walls.
Okay, 25.
That is gonna hit.
Yeah! 11 damage.
Ooh, I like it.
You come down off the wall with your cool dagger and chink, as the chain breaks and the glacial shard falls into the murky water and the ice armor disappears. But you notice that as you are attacking it, the blade that meets the flesh that was covered in ice doesn't manage to break all the way through, as it was protecting a large part of damage, but the chain is knocked off. But it was a great turn. So now we're gonna go to initiative 14, Armos.
Okay, so we need to get that. So it's on the ground. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna eye bite. I'm gonna cast eye bite on him.
Okay.
Love that.
Creature within 60 feet must succeed a wisdom saving throw. So he has to beat a wisdom saving throw of 16, still with whatever.
With your hex. Yeah. Oh, it got a nat 20, bud.
2 nat 20s.
It got a nat 20.
Oh, I bet it had advantage that canceled out the disadvantage.
Well, nothing I'm doing is working, so I'm just gonna back up, I guess. That's my turn.
Yeah, like I said, this fight wasn't meant to be easy, although you were doing a lot better than I expected. As we move to initiative 10, which is this deathly frog, as it quickly goes to try to snatch up the glacial shard. It is going to use its action to pick up the shard. As it's laser focused on that, you see its eyes are fixated on it like an addiction. And it jumps into the water and like moving the water all around, and then swipes it up as all the sewage goes everywhere and all over Krideth. That's what it's going to do for this turn as it grabs the glacial shard. It's going to move to initiative 7, Minnis.
Talos, give me strength, and I shoot a bunch of sling bullets. I'm shooting the elemental bullets and using thunder damage.
Okay.
And the first attack is going to be a 21 to hit. Ooh, plus my D4 is a 22. Dang it. And the second one is a 27 plus 3 is 30 to hit.
Those are going to hit.
So that is 26 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh.
Plus, wow, I rolled 13 damage, then more 13 damage.
Whoa.
So that's 39 points of damage, and then my SIDS do an extra 6 points of damage for 45 total points of damage.
You, with your sling, as all these pellets ignite into this thunderous shockwave like a magical orb of sound and booming bass. Boom, 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 boom. And it goes, and you see one bink off its head and then off the glacial shard into its chest. And then it tries to regain its composure as the black, murky blood leaks out of its mouth, and the toad begins to step forward in your direction as the glacial shard gleams. And as it goes to swipe, it glints, and its wounds begin to freeze over, and you can see the droplets of blood falling from its body and shatter like ice as they crash against the rocks of the cavern walls. The toad has become completely frozen over with its last movements reaching towards you.
Whoa.
And then begins to fall apart. You see as its frozen frog arm is just prostrated out of the water, prostrating means bending over, protruding out of the water with the glacial shard in its hand just above the waterline.
Oh.
You are out of combat.
Oh, Reigns.
You hear one last croak in your minds. Ribbit, what a corruption failed.
Oh, Reigns, what happened to you? Well, we got what we came for, and I pick up the shard.
Yeah, so the shard is in the water. Who's picking it up?
It's right in front of me, so yeah, I'll grab it.
Can I potentially 25 sleight of hand grab it?
Oh, Krideth wants to take you with a slide hand. Yeah, all right. So Krideth, you got 25?
Yeah.
All right, Minnis, if she's trying to snatch it, so.
I can't believe it. I got a 26.
Oh my God, our hands
Wow.
touch. Our hands touch.
That's absurd. By one.
Minnis, both of you go to reach for this shard, and your hands touch for but a moment, and then Krideth takes hers back as you just go to pick it up, and then you realize what just happened, and you're now holding the glacial shard, and it is completely, almost like your fingers freeze to the touch, to the point where you feel freezer burn. It's uncomfortable for you to hold. You can see why it was like hanging from a chain. As you try to grab it from the end, it has like a metal cap on the end, and you're holding it from its broken chain to just try not to hurt your hand from holding it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Ow, 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 ow. Sid, you try it, and I give it to Sid. Oh, and you're just fine when you touch it? Oh. No, I'm proud of you. I am proud. What? Don't say that. Come on. Sid, I've been nothing but nice to you all day.
He gestures to everything around him.
When we get back, dance party. I promise. Oh, just that easy. Okay. And yeah, I'll put it in my knapsack.
Okay. You put it in your bag. You are now still in this cavern, and you still see these bodies, and the bodies all have eggs in them, and all these roots. Is there anything you would like to do in here?
I suppose I'd just like to inspect the bodies one last time, just to see if maybe there are belongings I could bring back to family members or anything else of note.
Yeah. Everybody give me a group investigation check as you are checking out this cavern.
That is a dirty 20 for Minnis.
Ooh.
15.
15. Wow.
Oh, very
Okay.
good.
Perfect. Yeah, you guys cleared this wildly. You are looking around this cavern. You are taking some time, and you see bodies. Some of them have been here a lot longer, and some of them have are more relatively new that have like more luster to them than the others. And you see that all these vines are entangled. You do find Reigns' original body. You do see a half-elf with more ornate, torn-up clothing. And he has a book on him. And the book is like it's a notebook. No, but it's a book that it keeps all of his notes. It looks like random thoughts and jotted down quick notes that he's doing. and you flip through it, and you see that he was investigating this water purification project. He found some corrupted waters that led him to this spot. And then you see that he mentions a monster, and he finds a den. And these are over the course of like a few days, over a month ago. And then you see a name of the monster, and circled in red in bold letters, it says Death Slot.
Death Slot.
Yes.
Armos, you got anything about this in your book? And I show him the journal.
Let me look. Do I know?
You flip through your little monster manual that you have. You do not see anything in that book regarding to this monster. It is way above the CR that book contains. You don't see anything about a death slot. And then you see a couple of other things. It's like root cause, center, heart of the roots. And then you see another note, glacial shard. And then you see that the plan that Reigns originally had for it was that he was going to use the glacial shard to try to freeze the main root of the sewer to try to kill off the corruption that way. And that's the last note that he has before he was taken into his demise. You also see some other notes like can shape shift, can change into other forms, which is why he was wearing his vest. He is, and then as you look around and now you're starting to put the clues together, along the center rock column, you do see one root that sticks out, and it's pulsating ever so slightly. Because of the combat, you weren't able to see it, but you do see this one root that beats like a heart very faintly. But now that you see it, it's so obvious.
All right, Sid. You got that shard?
Me? And then Sid pulls out the glacial shard.
Awesome, all right. You know what to do when I throw Sid at the pulsating thing.
Bink, and the glacial shard hits the root. And then Sid falls back into the water with the glacial shard. And then you see that the glacial shard, where it stabbed the root, begins to frost over. And the heart beating root begins to slow down. And it begins to freeze. And then the freezing root reaches deep within the rock. And then you see all these other entangling roots coming out along the walls begin to freeze over, and they begin to crack and shard and fall. The bodies fall into the water. All the egg sacs begin to flash freeze and then fall into the water and then slowly disperse into tiny ice shards, effectively killing off all the eggs in the room. The water is still murky and green, but you see it that it begins to clear up from the magical ice that has been disrupted in the water.
All right.
And then you see that water that's flowing out. The clean water looks like it's slowly overtaking the sludgy water as the glacial shard has begun purifying the rotting, tainted water away.
Good job, Sid. And I give him a little fist bump.
Sid is still in the water with the glacial shard.
Oh, did he hit it? And then when it
yeah, you threw him at it, and then
fell?
he threw him at it with the glacial shard, and then while holding the glacial shard, he fell into the water. You boop.
I pick him up out of the water.
He hasn't resurfaced. You go over, and Sid is not there.
Oh. What? I'm Sid? Sid? I'm searching through the water. Sid, where are you? Guys, Sid's gone. This has never happened before. Oh my goodness, this is terrible.
You look 30 feet over towards the entrance where the Slod was slain. You see Krideth holding a glacial shard and Sid in the other hand as she lobs Sid over to you as she rolled a 25 on a sleight of hand. Another 25 on a sleight of hand. I had her make a roll in the DMs as she took Sid as this was happening before you. Krideth, what are you doing?
Standing there with the shard, and I'm going to say, this may take me down best friend list, but you have one brain cell and I need at least 5. Sorry, but also I have revenge mission. Goodbye.
She turns it to a bat and begins to quickly dash down the hallway, making her escape to the entrance, and then you hear some flapping in the distance.
Armos, we gotta go. We need that shard.
We just get robbed, and that's where we're gonna end this week's session.
I don't like
You
it.
jerk!
Britty the person does not like it. Krideth has gray morals.
There was a reason. I mean, it was entirely up to her. We'll talk about it in the after show. We'll 100% talk about it in the after show, but that was fun.
That was fun. Oh my gosh.
If anybody, I'm sure we're going to talk about it from the week before, but when I introduced this monster, if anybody has guessed a death slod as the monster they were fighting, congratulations, you are correct. Death slods are very, very intense monsters to fight. They're great. It's slightly a little underleveled for you three, but being Britty as a guest star and not like as geared as she is compared to you guys, it was a very even fight. But you guys did very well holding up against it. Very well. We'll talk about stat block in the after show, but this is a fun monster. I've been sitting on this one for a while.
This was so fun.
Slods are very interesting monsters. It's just a whole race of slods. They're great.
Slods have advantage against saving throws against spells.
That's one of the many things, actually.
Right. I can look it up now that we fought it.
Yeah. Go ahead and look it up if you want to take a little glance at its.
That's right.
It's stat block, but yeah.
Jerk.
Yeah. It's a fun one. It's a fun one. But yeah, Krideth, looks like Krideth dashed away with the glacial shard. Krideth, what do you guys think about that?
Thanks for letting me rob you.
You are definitely getting taken out of the best friend column.
Oh man, now I feel bad as a person, but
No, heck these guys.
Heck us. What do you mean?
Heck these
We're
guys.
trying to save our friend.
I don't want to do that. Oh God!
wait a second.
Yeah. Wait a second.
Our friend's life only depends on it.
God, this is so much fun. I cannot begin to tell you how much fun. I've never played a rogue before, so this was super fun.
Nice.
They're
That's
so cool.
Yeah.
So this wasn't like a ploy to like, she's just going to steal this from under the rug.
Yeah.
There's a reason why she needs it. She can't. So Britty came up with an amazing backstory.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right.
Thank
And
you.
I was like, okay, so this is the item we're going to use for that backstory.
Gotcha.
And I didn't get any backstory time, but that's okay.
We'll talk about it all on the after show. We know some stuff. We know some stuff.
Yeah.
But I gave her the option. I'm like, because she, when we were talking, just so the people listening on the adventure know, this wasn't like, oh, you have to steal when you leave. She made this choice because like fit her backstory the best, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I'm like,
And
yeah,
we'll
that works.
talk about that more on the after show.
Yeah.
Before we head out here and send everybody to the Patreon shout outs, before we head out here and send everybody to the Patreon shout outs, Britty, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you, socials and whatnot, if they want to find out more.
Yeah, so if you want to find my personal stuff, everything, all my handle on all platforms is Britty Lea Film, which Lee is spelled Lea. So BRITTYLEA Film. And the easiest way to find all that is going to my Linktree. That has the same thing. And then I am also the DM of the live stream show called Health Hits Experience, which we stream Monday nights at 5 p.m. Eastern. Although, again, when this comes out, we might be on our hiatus. So you can kind of watch Campaign 1 if you wanted to get through that. And all on YouTube. And all of our socials are Health Hits XP. And same with the link. There's a link tree with all that information.
Yeah, and they spend a ton of time on the production value. It's an in-person campaign, by the way, so they're all playing in the same room, which is wild.
So jealous.
Must
Yeah,
be
we're
dude.
in the same room. We're in a studio. We're live on Twitch, and it's super fun. It is kind of dangerous because I'm close enough to want to strangle my players, but it's super fun. And this first campaign is basically fantasy sci-fi, and so we have a fun set design that's like really cool to look at. So even if you weren't quite sure, just looking at it is really fun. But the players are amazing, and we are really getting close to the end right now. So it's just been a fun journey to go on this little adventure with them and tell this story together. So I'm really proud of everything. And again, like I said, I think when this comes out, everything will be kind of wrapped up from that. But we are working on a season 2 as well. So there's some more stuff coming in the future.
Ooh.
All right.
Love it.
All
Thank
right.
you for
Thank you so-
joining us, Britty. This has been so fun.
Yeah, this is
Thank
awesome.
you for
Thank you.
having me.
Thanks for robbing
I know we've been
us. It's wonderful.
I know we were talking about having me on the podcast for a while, so I'm really glad
Yes.
that this worked out in the way that it did. And I will also say, like, I had options. I wasn't 100% sure if I wanted to steal it because I really like these characters a lot. But I think it makes the most sense and it gives her a fun exit. So thanks for letting Krideth in for a little bit, and who knows, maybe she'll be back.
Maybe.
I'm
We'll see.
so excited to talk about so much more.
I was about to say, if she is back, she's going to have 2 less arms. That's for sure.
All right, Armos, I see you.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
She's batting 1,000. We're also to the shout-outs. Now it's time for the Patreon shout-outs, starting with the Blood Shard Bandits. First up is Benjamin Hayes, as the echoes of metal and the infinite void, sprinkled with mechanized madness, has this warforged contemplating the meaning of life. As he regains his health, his mind wanders, but he is finally able to move. But at what cost? Next up, we have Dylan Snyder, aka Reese, an Eladrin bard who has recently come out with a beautiful 10-record-long love ballad symphony. This song is sure to bring a tear to anyone's eye as he sings about trees leaving him. Next up is Julius Kendrick, who has been toiling in the lab, mixing black rock with spoiled pig blood with a dash of goblin snot, concocting something foul to spoil our hero's plans. But to what end? The land of shadows is not enough? And will he stop at nothing to see the hero's inevitable demise? Truly unsettling. Next up is Rains, who has been reported missing by the city of Aramore. Last seen, he was working on helping the city become a better place. Something about a water purification project. Any news or leads leading to Rains' rescue shall be rewarded handsomely. Last up is Troy Scarrow, and Captain Scarrow has been tormenting the Everlong Sea for some time, transporting prisoners and ungodly beasts alike, a true threat to the sea. Some say the Kraken itself avoids Captain Scarrow's ship, lest it face the wrath of Captain Scarrow. Next up is the Sidget College alumni. First up, we have Andrew Hall, and Andrew has been facing some trouble in Paradise as he is no longer the top of his class. An underdog has seemed to have stolen the spotlight, but who could be talented enough to take the #1 spot? Artemis hasn't been seen around the Sidget College campus in some time. Kemi Joe said he's taking a well-deserved vacation in the Kambuki Isles. He is sure to be sipping on some fruit punch and knuckle sandwiches in the fighting pits. Patrick Wennerstrom is next, and like a silhouette in a dark alley, Patrick is elusive as he is mysterious. A ghost in an empty jacket. Robin Crisp has his hands full with his tiny bread civilization. It is up to him to make sure their world doesn't crumble away. With enough help, they may thrive. Let us rejoice. Next up, we have Saint Chaos, and he has been expelled! An appeal is set to be held next month to determine if Saint Chaos should be given a 367th chance to perform better at the school. Some say Saint Chaos will never change, but maybe a heartfelt speech could sway the board. Lastly, we have Warden. Renowned food critic has just visited one of the finest eateries in Aramore City. With a delightful brunch and clean atmosphere, he shares that the Wildside Tavern is a delight to visit. He also hears a real hoot at night. Now we're going to move on to Humbraya's heroes, and first up we have Abdul Rahman, and he is doing well as Dilmore's new local alchemist, with raving reviews saying he's not a jerk like the last guy. Alex Dredd is next, and he has recently taken down a roadside bandit. It seemed that they tried to take the wheel off his wagon while playing some jazz. Next up is Anthony Pizza, aka Sly, and he has been making a killing selling secrets in the streets. It should also be said that his secrets may lead to killings in the streets, but that's neither here nor there. Alara Dawnstar is on the search for a new waterfall, as the last one she trained under broke. The water just stopped flowing. Weird. Man with Glass has been found deep within the bowels of a volcano in North Trillis. What tempered glass could he possibly be making in such extreme heat? Next up is Michael Sekarak, an unknown visitor of Humbrea. Who are you, kind traveler? Next we have Nufarius Ducarius, and he was last seen streaking through the streets of Aramore City, waving around a basilisk head, yelling, "It's almost like a dragon!" Sergio Rodriguez is next up, and ever since his mysterious appearance, the shrouded mystery of unknown vagabonds has also been increasing in presence. Truly alarming. And last up, we have Terminal No Name, who has just reached platinum status in his Rocket Boot League. I hear that's very good. And that's all for this week's Patreon shoutouts. If you would like to hear your name added to this very amazing list of people, go ahead and check out our Patreon link down below to find out more. Until next time, have a great one.